I want to take you to Tokyo, where the chief of UNRWA, the UN agency which supports Palestinians, is speaking. Philippe Lazzarini is talking now.
締め出されてしまうのかということを見極めていかなくちゃいけないということです。それ以外に起こり得ることは、じゃあ停戦が本当に実現されるのか、本当に停戦が起こるとどうなるのか、もしかしたらそれが契機となって今までの流れが真逆に反転するかもしれない。そしてよりポジティブに未来を見てガザの復興が始まるかもしれないという可能性もあるわけです。そしてどっちに転ぶかっていうのはもう憶測しかないということで、誰にもわからないということであります。しかし今の状態を見てかなりの国々が辟易しているということでありますから、もしかしたら停戦に至るかもしれません。
ありがとうございます。読売新聞の尾形と申します。現地の状況について詳しくお話を聞かせていただきありがとうございます。私からの質問としては、ガザのですね、死者が5万4千人を超えたという報道がありました。大変な数字だと思います。で、イスラエルによる攻撃による、いわゆる戦死の人、それから衛生状態が悪化したり、あるいは飢餓が広がってですね、その人道危機によって亡くなった人もたくさんいると思います。戦死による、攻撃によって直接的に亡くなった人と、この人道危機によって亡くなった人の割合というのはどのぐらいなんでしょうか。いかにその人道危機が深刻かということを知る上で、この割合をですね、教えていただきたいと思います。
Well, thank you very much for your detailed explanation about what's happening locally. And I am Ogata from Yomiuri newspaper. And I have a question. There is a report that in Gaza, more than 54,000 people had died. And of course, some of them had died due to the military attack waged by Israel. And some of the people have died because of the deterioration of sanitation, status, as well as starvation and so forth. So some of the people have died as a result of a direct military attack, and some have been reported to have died because of the humanitarian crisis. And do you have a ratio between that? Those who lost lives due to the military attack and those who lost lives due to the humanitarian crisis. Because if we know the ratio of people who have lost their lives because of the humanitarian crisis, then we can really see how serious the conflict has evolved to be. Do you have that ratio?
Unfortunately, I don't have this ratio. When we talk today about 53,000 people killed in Gaza, primarily this information seems to come from the military operation, or at least this is what the hospital in Gaza and then the local health authorities are communicating. We have heard at multiple occasions that there have been assessment or estimate of how many people might have died because of the dire situation, because of the poor sanitation condition, because of disease, because of the lack of treatment, or possibly even hunger. And this estimate would bring the total number of people killed or having died in Gaza much, much higher. But again, here, I don't want to articulate a number, because as a UN, we do not have such a number. What I can tell you is that only UNRWA, as an agency, we had 310 employees killed. This is up to 12,000 employees in the Gaza Strip. What we also know is that more than 500 children of these employees have been killed together with their parents. This is a staggering figures already. The proportion would mean more than 2% of the employees have been killed. Now you bring it in proportion with the population to do the estimate.
残念ながら比率をお知らせすることはできません。 で、報道されているところによると、今現在、ガザ地区で5万2000人から5万3000名の方々が亡くなられたというふうに言われております。で、情報は大体軍事作戦関連であろうというふうになっているわけでありまして、ガザの病院とか保健当局が発表している数字がこうであるっていうことなんです。で、複数の機会を通じて、それではその衛生状態が悪い、疾患が蔓延した、また治療が受けられなかった、飢餓状態があったといったようなことが原因で、いわば人道的な危機によって何名の方が亡くなったのかという推計については、何度かの機会に聞いたことはあるわけで、そういった人数を加えると、総数はもっと大きな数字になるんじゃないかとは言われております。ただ我々は、手持ちでそういった具体的な数字は持ち合わせておりません。国連として持っていないということなので、何とも申し上げられないということであります。ただ、UNRWA機関だけに絞って申し上げれば、職員が310名以上を殺されているということであります。総勢ガザで1万2000人ぐらいの人たちが働いているのでということであります。そして、親御さんと一緒にいたお子さんがやっぱり500人ぐらい合わせて亡くなられている、これはもうひどい数字だというふうに思っておりますので、その数字でUNRWAの職員の中でどのくらいかということはパーセンテージ計算されると思いますけれども、それ以外についてははっきりと申し上げることはできません。
はい、ありがとうございます。それではどうぞ。
個人会員の川北です。UNRWA がですね、テロ集団であるという偽キャンペーンが続いているというふうにおっしゃったわけですが、これについてお聞きします。私もですね、UNRWAがテロ集団だとは思っていません。ただしかし、国連機関であるUNRWAの中にですね、テロ集団であるハマスのメンバーがかなりの程度浸透しているのは事実ではないのでしょうか。実際2年前の10月7日の攻撃にですね、ハマスの攻撃の参加した中にUNRWAの職員が、10人ちょっとぐらいいたというふうに報道されていてですね、それをUNRWA自体も認めていて、7人ぐらい解雇したということは伝えられてますね。さらにそれ以外にイスラエル側は400数十人がですね、のハマスメンバーがUNRWAに浸透しているということを主張していたわけですが、こういったことに対してUNRWAは何らかの調査をしているんでしょうか。
My name is Kawakita. And I have a question about your highlighting the fact that there has been accusation that UNRWA is a terrorist organization, and it has been the disinformation campaign, which is continuing. And I myself do not think UNRWA is a terrorist organization or anything like that. However, it might be that some Hamas members have infiltrated into your organization of UNRWA, because there are reports who said that when the Hamas attacked on the October the 7th, 10 UNRWA staffers have actually been involved waging the attack under that circumstances. And I heard that because of that, UNRWA also acknowledged that he had some staffers who are originating from Hamas, and as a result of that, UNRWA had dismissed 7 members or staffers from your agency. And Israel also claims that more than 400 to several tens of Hamas members have now infiltrated into UNRWA. So having those accusations, have you done at the UNRWA actual investigation to find out about the facts or anything you have done in order to respond to those allegations?
Thank you. There are 2 types of allegations. The first one, you are referring to the staff who allegedly would have participated to the horrible massacre of October 7. For this, you remember that I have taken immediate action. I was also very clear publicly. Would the staff have participated to the massacre? This would be a betrayal vis-à-vis their own community and a betrayal vis-à-vis the agency they would represent. The Secretary General has commissioned an investigation. At that time, there were a total of 19 staff. One staff has been completely cleared. And for the other 18 staff, there have been no final confirmation, no final conclusion. We had part of the staff for which, if the information could be authenticated and corroborated, there would be ground for criminal investigation. And for another group of staff, there was not enough information to continue even the investigation. That's on the 19. And I will come on the 450 after.
ご質問どうもありがとうございます。
You're watching Al Jazeera. We're bringing you live coverage of a press conference that's being given by the chief of the UN Palestinian Refugee Agency, UNRWA, Commissioner General Philippe Lazzarini, talking in response to a couple of questions that have been put to him by members of the Japan National Press Club. He responded to reports that 54,000 people had died, and the question was whether or not his organization had a breakdown of the causes of those deaths. He said that there was no breakdown. They were relying on figures that were being supplied to them by medical services in Gaza. He was also asked about the proportion of people who had died in Gaza. He said that 310 UNRWA employees have been killed out of 12,000 employees in Gaza. He said that was a staggering figure, and that figure could be, to some degree, extrapolated into the wider population. He was just addressing allegations there that UNRWA had been described as a, quote, terrorist organization. He was explaining that he had taken immediate action following that allegation. The Secretary General had also commissioned an investigation. One staff member had been cleared. The remaining 18 there had been no finding on. He said, prior to the point, and I think it is worth mentioning this, to the point at which we joined this press conference, he had already said that the organization's financial situation is desperate, he said, and he added that it urgently needs support to continue operations past June.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.